Welcome back, guys, to a fuck me. Welcome back, guys, to another not review this time. It's something a little different. I'm just literally just gonna talk about the state of the MCU right now, as well as maybe a little bit about the state of the DCEU right now. But as always, make sure you go ahead and leave a like and all right. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, there's a lot going on right now in the MCU. Some that I don't even think that you guys may realize. I mean, let's just start from the top. So, I believe it was, first came Shang-Chi, we were introduced to the Ten Rings, and then, we go through all that. They did a terrific job introducing him as a character to the MCU. And then at the very end of Shang-Chi, you have them basically, you have Wong, you have Katie, you have Shang-Chi, you have Bruce, you have Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, all trying to figure out what the Ten Rings actually are. And it seems like that there's a beacon to somewhere out in the cosmos. So that's very, very interesting. And now I have my theories on that. Theory number one is it's technology of Kang's. That could be, because he's a very renowned scientist, both in the comics and if you watch Loki, you know what I'm talking about. He's a pretty crazy dude. So either him or it could be from the Chitauri. That could also be a possibility. Even though we kind of saw that, I don't know if that was their entire army, but when they were defeated in both Endgame and the first Avengers movie and what have you. So I mean that either one of those. So that's going to be definitely a big setup. And I don't know if again with the Young Avengers, I mentioned it for a few seconds in my review of Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, but I definitely believe that they're setting up the Young Avengers. You're gonna have Kate Bishop, from the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. She's gonna be the new Hawkeye. You're gonna have Yelena from the Black Widow movie, also from the Hawkeye series, gonna be the new Black Widow. And you're gonna possibly have Shang-Chi join the Young Avengers. I don't know. I mean, he's a little bit. I'd say he's probably a little bit older than both of them, just in terms of MCU. But and then you probably have Sam as the new Captain America guiding all of them. Whoever. See what else you have. I think right after that was the Eternals, which people had so many mixed reviews and reactions to that movie, and I'm just saying, I mean, it is what it is. It was it wasn't your traditional Marvel movie, which I believe that was the first time that they went from the traditional jokey, goofy, kind of action-packed, whatever. So I believe there's just something that people weren't really expecting, and people were, had their high expectations. So, you had the setup of the Celestials, and then you had the surprise cameo of Harry Styles as Thanos' brother. I think you pronounce it Eros? Yeah. Now, from what I've heard, I don't, know too much about the Eternals as a whole, even though I claim to be a real Marvel fan, but in the comics he is a real douchebag. So it feels like with the casting of Harry Styles and just how they took on the cameo, it looks like they're kind of going to change it up a little bit. So yeah, we got introduced to at least couple of the Celestials, sort of. The first Celestial we ever got introduced to was Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And there's just theories about that he wasn't really a Celestial, and that there's again different iterations in the comics. It's when I say there's a lot when it comes to discussing anything Marvel and definitely anything DC as well. There is. I mean, and you guys are gonna have your theories and whatever. So, but so yeah, that's gonna set up whatever movie, whether it's Eternals 2, it also sets up Blade as well in the last post-credit scene, as well as Black Knight, played by the guy from Game of Thrones, Jon Snow. Don't know it yet. Yeah, that'll definitely be pretty great. Now I don't know if they're actually gonna, from what last I heard, they're gonna do a movie of at least Blade. I don't know how Black Knight's gonna come in, if they're gonna do a Disney Plus show about him, or whatever. But yeah, you have that on that front, and then I believe right after Eternals, it was was it Spider-Man? Yeah, I think it was Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man No Way Home, which basically kicked off the multiverse. Now I know that you're like, well, you skipped over all these the Disney Plus series. I'm like, yeah, but I'm only really talking the movies right now. So in terms of movies, but yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home basically sets up the multiverse. At the end, you have the only thing I really have to add on that. Again, Spider-Man is probably going to be, because he's young enough and he's around that age. Probably going to become a part of the Young Avengers as well. Again, I think that they're definitely setting up a Young Avengers movie. Also, I know that they're doing a Secret Wars show on Disney Plus. I think that's also going to be, and then the next Avengers movie as well, or like I said, there's so many things that they could go with. It's really hard to tell. And trust and faith with Kevin Feige. So I completely trust him with everything. So, yeah. So at the end, it appears as if everyone did forget, and you kind of get that in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. There's a moment where Doctor Strange is like, well, we're aware of the multiverse because we had this thing happen with Spider-Man. I don't know if they actually know who Spider-Man is, or if they just knew that Spider-Man is what caused it, or I don't know. That was very peculiar. They didn't know. They just kind of glossed over that, and I'm like, wait, what do you know? Then of course we had Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Definitely set up the MCU for probably years to come. Again, Doctor Strange, if you haven't seen my review on that, go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to elaborate too much further on that, but yeah. The actress, I'm just going to say this because I didn't say it enough in the review. The actress that plays America Chavez, sorry, Jesus. I was thinking of another series. America Chavez, she was, absolutely brilliant. It was a pretty good introduction for her character into the MCU, and from what I'm seeing, she really got a lot of clout for that, and I mean, she deserves it. She was really good in the movie, and I think that was, I'm not aware of it, but I think that was her first appearance as an actress, ever. I could be wrong on that, correct me if I'm wrong, but she did an excellent job. So, yeah, I didn't touch on that enough in my review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but I just wanted to go ahead and elaborate on that further. yeah, I am taking your constructive criticism into account, by the way. I know I'm saying a lot. Again, keep in mind, I'm just doing this for fun. You know, if it goes somewhere great, uh, you know, and there's no scripts, so and I'm not really a fan of reading off scripts because you just get distracted and you lose your train of thought. And I mean, I know I'm kind of already losing my train of thought, but at least, you know, I can just be on the fly in a way. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna set it up for years to come. Yeah, it's just gonna be crazy interesting to see what they do with it. Now, to get on to the nitty gritty, the juice and potatoes of Thor: Love and Thunder, scheduled to come out this summer. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's not. I'm gonna butcher his name, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. But director of Thor: Love and Thunder. It's not his style, but I mean, to really understand the level of extremely dangerous threat that Gore the God Butcher poses, he definitely doesn't need to do some killing. So I'm hoping that they just don't, just kind of like only show one, or show like a big kill, like say they showed Zeus in the trailer. So it could definitely, that could definitely be it. I mean, that would be a major shock. They have an epic battle. Everyone thinks, or everyone that's there witnessing the battle thinks that Zeus is going to win. He loses, he dies, and it's a shock to Zeus and whatnot. So, or a shock to Zeus, a shock to everyone. Zeus is going to be dead. He's not going to care. But yeah. So that's it's gonna probably touch upon the multiverse a lot more. It looks like either a Secret War scene or part of an incursion that we see. We see Thor finally, in the trailer, we see Thor meet up with Jane Foster. So that's probably gonna be chaos. I feel like I don't think they've released the official runtime yet for Thor: Love and Thunder, but it's definitely they should definitely make it at least a 2.5 to 3 hour movie. I believe Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a little over 2 hours. It could have been 2 hours and 30 minutes if they wanted it to be. I mean, then I would have been fine with it, totally fine with it. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on current state of the MCU. I think that people are gonna have their gripes because Endgame was like the high point of the MCU, and ever since then, people have been kind of. I mean, people were shitting on superhero movies before, Endgame, but now it seems like it's lost its stuff. It's never gonna get it back. No, it's not at all. It's just when you hit a high point in anything, there's always gonna be you're gonna get that, it's gonna go like that, it's gonna swing back and forth. So but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be an interesting next 10 years. So yeah, like I said, if you guys like this video, go ahead and subscribe and leave a like. If you like, leave a comment too. I'll answer any questions you have. Yeah. Thanks, guys.